Almost there, kids.
No, that is not an alcoholic beverage.
Good. Hey guys, welcome to the Charity First Handicapping Challenge, Day 4.
Woo!
I'm Chappie, and this is Giorgio. Georgie, what's going on, buddy?
Well, I'm 0 for 3 so far, my team. So I need to get a W in the win column, man. So hopefully we'll do that today. But hopefully, really, we'll raise a lot of money. We've raised some good money for charity in this contest, and so it's been so far very well accepted by the public, and hopefully we'll continue.
Yeah, we had a great weekend. We got shut out day 1, but I think we ended up making about $1,800 in that, somewhere in that area, towards karma over the first weekend. So great start. I think everybody's enjoying it. So go ahead and introduce your guests today.
All right, I'm very excited. We're gonna get a win here today. Craig Kaufman is my representing Team Giorgio. I've known him for a couple of decades now. I pretty much consider him my best friend in the horse racing industry, and he's also legendary in the poker industry as well. He's won over $100,000 in tournaments. He was back in Vegas in the 70s with guys like Doyle Brunson and legendary figures like Mike Sexton, who just passed away. One of the most creative minds. He started a lot of these poker tournaments. He's just wonderful, but his passion is horse racing. He's qualified for the MHC 16 years. I mean, it's just spectacular to be able to qualify 16 years. He's won the Win Championship. He won the New Orleans Championship. He's just one of the best handicappers that I've ever met. Trip handicapping is his thing. He looks at a lot of race replays, and I'm very proud to have him on my team today. Craig Kaufman, welcome to the team.
Well, thank you, George. Could you give me a little bigger build up next time, please?
Wow, I'm impressed.
I tell you what, George, so I see now, you sandbag me. You go 0-3, and then you bring in the ringer in day 4. I get it. But my guest today, Ryan Flanders, a.k.a. Benny South Street, also a big tournament player. I don't have the whole list like you do. You know, I just keep it more general. I let Ryan go into what he does. And also the CEO and the man behind TripNotePros.com. Ryan, a.k.a. Benny, what's going on, buddy?
I'm got my Red Bull, doing my tapes. I cut Craig out this morning, so he can't be looking at any of my stuff. So I'm locked and loaded, ready to go.
So since you touched on that, Benny, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Trip No Pros and why you have the Red Bull, because I don't think you're getting much sleep these days.
Just we've got a website. We're marketing our ability to look at trips in respect to jockey intent and horse comfort. So those are the things we're looking for. We think that offers the most value up when you're trip handicapping. So check it out, tripnotepros.com. You get there and sign on. There's free notes you can use. We've got examples there in the front, and we sell most major cards on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. As a matter of fact, we're doing a little promo now for Santa Anita. We've got the Golden Hour, which we offer up for free, but unfortunately, Golden Gate, I think, canceled today, if I'm not mistaken. So that was unfortunate. But
yeah, I think it was because of air quality. Is that right, George? They can't.
Yeah, that's what it was. And,
we're on the Keeneland site as well. So every Saturday throughout the Keeneland meet, you can get there and read all the notes for free. You know, it's good stuff. It's self-explanatory when you take a look at it.
That's tripnotespro.com, right?
It's actually one note, 2 pros. So it's myself and Tyler Hoffman, who's another tournament player. We author the notes. We're proud owners of the back-to-back Santa Anita Handicapping Challenge. So we're going to be looking to get that one next year and get a 3-in-a-row streak going.
I'm starting tripnotesamateur.com. It's kind of like we look at it and go, I think he got in trouble. I'm not sure. What do you think? You know, it's a whole different kind of thing, but it's very interesting.
It's a great idea. If you hate sleep, it's a great idea.
Hey, you talked about the Golden Hour. I'm telling you, wow, one of the most exciting, the Golden Hour bet, that daily double when it came out, very well received. right during this meet, we started the Golden Hour Pick 4, which incorporates the last 2 races of Santa Anita and the last 2 races of Golden Gate. And I tell you what, I love this bet. It's $1 minimum, super low takeout, very well received. You can bet it now on Express Bet and First Bet. So definitely try to get involved. It is a wonderful bet. I love it. And hopefully it'll be a bet that'll be here for years to come.
Yeah, no question. I think it's been well received, and hopefully going forward. And like Benny said, they've got the Trip Note Pros helping everybody out, so they can take a look at the product and also help them hit that pick 4 that's paid out so well so far. And Georgie, why don't we get started? Explain a little bit what we're doing and how the tournament works, and we'll get into today's action.
All right, it's a heads-up tournament, and every day during the meet, we're going to have 2 great, spectacular handicappers like we have here today. They're going to be going heads up against each other, and like a winner take all. If you lose, you're going to be out of the tournament. If you win, you move on to the next round. Each player is going to get $300 to play with. We're putting up the money, and 100% of any money that they win will go to Karma. They're going to have a $100 win bet on 1 horse throughout the card. They're going to have a $100 exacta. They can either bet an ice cold exacta or an exacta box. And they're also going to have a $100 daily double. They can either put a straight daily double or a part wheel, 1 horse to 2 horses or 2 horses to 1 horse. So those are the 3 options. And then at the end of the day, whoever has the most money moves on. If in fact it does end in a tie, we're going to go with a tiebreaker in the last race. Each of our contestants will pick a horse, and whoever finishes ahead of the other one, that person will move on.
All right, so why don't we get it started? You can go ahead. I'm going to turn it over to you. Your honor, for the win bet.
All right, poor, Craig, he was not selected for jury duty. He's a little bummed out, so we're going to try to pick up his spirits by getting a winner. You got $100 to win, and who are you putting the $100 to win on?
That Ryan is a noise of chalk. I'm putting my hand next to the chalkboard right there. So I'm going to go with the obvious 3rd race, the 1 horse Parnelli, and looks like a lone F trip. And the tournament like this is like the Riders Cup. I'm more nervous for the charity. I'm trying to win for the charity. I don't mind losing my money, but here I'm trying to win. It's more important to win. And that's my $100 win bet.
Yeah, you know what? It could be. Go ahead, George.
No, I'm just going to reiterate $100 to win in race number 3 on Parnelli, breaking from the rail for John Sherritt's 2nd time out. Actually comes in with the best last race thoroughgraph number, and I love it. I love the bet. We're here to win money for charity, right, Chappie?
Yeah, no question. That's like you said, Craig. That's the most important thing. Obviously, this horse ran 2nd to the very talented Superman Shack last time for Peter Miller. But ego aside, winning aside, most importantly, we want to make money for the charity. So that's, like you said, there's nothing wrong with eating chalk once in a while. So that being said, Ryan, where are you going with the $100 win bet for Team Chappie?
Well, before I get into my win bet, I would just like to say that I just made a $500 score right there because I bet somebody that Craig would take the favorite in the 3rd race as his win bet. So I'm already up 500, which is a great thing.
Well, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. You can put it right to charity. The 500.
I already have. It's done. It's coming in. You can mail it in.
That's awesome.
I'm going. I'm gonna play as my win bet the number 8 Perfectionist, first time starter by Square Eddie for Redham. Or I'm sorry, I take that back. Vronsky, it's the Old English Rancho. I got a little bit maybe of some inside info here. I'm rooting hard for.
What race is that in? What race is that?
This is race 1, number 8 Perfectionist. The Vronsky that's owned by the Elwood Johnston Trust. I believe that's the Old English Rancho Group. I'm rooting hard for D'Amato's stepdaughter to get her first win. So of course, I'm always asking, do you have any mounts? Do you have any mounts? And I had to kind of sneak in. Do you like anything tomorrow? Coming from the barn, and she said, This one's been working good, and that was enough for me. I'm not a big fan of that post for the favorite Master Ryan, who's also the D'Amato in 2-1. So I think this race offers up some value. And when I got the little nudge towards this one, that was enough for me. So number 8, Perfectionist in race 1.
So a little inside information already, George. See, we
that.
made a lot of calls this morning. We want to beat you. So and nothing wrong with Phil D'Amato. He's been on fire since about halfway through the Del Mar meet. He's been firing at all cylinders. So 100 to win, race 1, Perfectionist at 4-1 on the morning line. And
how many times have we seen that where we got a trainer with 2 entries and the longest shot of the 2 wins? That we've seen that numerous times. So I love that pick, and I think Perfectionist has a huge shot with T-Bays aboard. It's good to see T-Bays back in the jockey colony here in SoCal. One of my favorites.
Quick question for you guys. As you did say, Master Ryan, the morning line favorite, 0 for 7, but 6 times in the money. You guys as gamblers, when you're betting maidens, depending on trips, who they faced, when is the time when you get off of a horse that you keep betting? You know, is it 0 for 7, 0 for 12? Is there some certain formula you guys use? Your tournament players, your good players, people watching this want to know how you bet. What are your thoughts on a horse that's 0 for 6 that drew the rail, something like that? Either one. Craig, you want to go first?
Well, once they get past the 0 for 8 or something, I don't play them, and I'm looking for. I like to find a horse second time out, because you always give an excuse for a first time out and had the rail a horse and come back, and now you get a good price because he looks horrible in the form. So you look for an excuse, you see if he had an excuse in the first or second race, and then there. But once they started, it's like a pattern. If they couldn't win, there's something.
Ryan, your thoughts on that?
Another thing I avoid is, these horses they pay 200,000 for them, they run them for 32,000 the next time. Nobody wants to give anything away for free. They're not going to make me a nice guy. Let me go get that horse for 32,000. So, but look what Maximum Security did. It was in for 16 the first time. So right. Can't always be right. But those horses I avoid too.
Ryan?
I'm a little Switzerland on this one. I think it depends on the circumstances. Sometimes you get horses that they run it over their head, and then they eventually land in the right spot, and they catch their friends, and they'll go on and win. But typically they're pack animals. Like the number 1 Master, he's 0 for 7, but he's made the lead and shown speed. He's thrown the wood a couple times. He's been knocked around a couple times. He's had some reasonable excuses, so that wouldn't deter me. It's more price driven for me. When you start getting, I suppose if you started getting into the teens, maybe I would start to look a little bit more, but usually these things are baked into the price, right? I mean, if you're 0 for 15, you're typically going to be a big price, and that could be enough for me to include him on certain tickets and certain wagers. And it's all about riding the right ticket anyway, right? Maybe they don't even need to win. Right.
I know that Chappie has gone 0 for 15 on many days wagering. Does that mean that you would get off a Chappie, not back him?
He's been off me for a long time.
Hey, everyone's due.
Well, a couple horses that come to mind. I think I bet Mo Forza, who took a long time to break her maiden, and then I finally got off, and then Mo Forza went on a crazy win streak. Or even a horse like Tis a Magician took quite a while, but Tis a Magician was facing monsters every time out and running second. So I think it's like you said, sometimes it's case by case. But anyways, just want to get your thoughts on that. Yeah. All right, Georgie, let's get to the exacta, buddy.
We got the exacta. We got $100 exacta. Craig, are you going to bet $100 straight exacta or an exacta box? And which race are you going to?
Well, I hope Ryan bet $1,000 on this one. Sweet. We're going to go the third race at Santa Anita. We're going to stick with the third race, and we're going to box the 1-2 $50 exacta box, Parnelli and Hot Rod Charlie.
Parnelli again. So we're going. So last week, my handicapper put all his eggs in the same basket. Looks like we might be headed towards that direction. So we're going Parnelli, who you bet to win, and a $50 exacta box with the one right outside of him, Hot Rod Charlie, who's also run 3 times and actually looked pretty good in all 3 of them. So Exacta Box 1-2 in race number 3 at Santa Anita for Craig Kaufman.
All right, so Ryan, we've already got a big lead after race 1, and your tip comes in at 4-1. What are we going to do to add to the bankroll in our Exacta play, buddy?
I'm going to stick in that same race, and I'm going to toss the 2. So I'm going to hope that the 2 gets cracked by the 1 a little bit. 2's getting blinkers on. I think he's got a little bit more speed than we realize. So I'm going to hope that the 2 tries to stick around in caves. I've got my software pretty strong late for 2 races, those being the 3 and the 4. So even though those horses backed up, they're both, or at least the 3 is a second time out, and I think the 4 is going to stay on well anyway. So that'll be my play. $50 Exacta 1 over 3-4.
So
that'll be an interesting race.
Yeah, no question about it. So 1 with the 3-4, $50 Exacta. Parnelli looks to be a horse on everybody should be what's 4 to 5 in the morning line should be odds on, obviously. All right, let's get to the double then, Georgie.
All right, before I get to Craig Kaufman with the double, I want to tell our fans, there's no fans allowed at the track, but you could be in the winner's circle. That's right. All you have to do is go to santanita.com/cutout, and we'll make a cutout of you, or if you want, like I got right here, a cutout of your pet right here. This is a beautiful dog. You can have a cutout like this in the winner's circle. And so it's really a lot of fun. You can see yourself in the winner's circle for a small amount, and that entire amount, it's $200, is going to go to charity, to Karma and to the PDJF. So good charities, good things to do. Make sure you get your cutout of you or your favorite pet, whichever you want, and go to santanita.com/cutout, and we'll see you in the winner's circle at Santa Anita. I want to get in the winner's circle with a daily double with my man, Craig Kaufman. Craig, what are we doing with the daily double?
Well, I'm lucky I got an out, because after the first race, I know I'm going to be behind you for a while with his pick. So when perfectionist wins, I need an escape route. And lucky enough, I got one. I'm going to, in the 3rd race, what else?
Parnelli.
I'm going to get my daily double. I got 2 horses in the 3rd race. 1, the obvious, so I'm going to go 1-1 double. And it's horrible because in daily double betting, when you bet 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, those are such an underlay. It's incredible. It's
right,
if you look at the
right.
board and you see a 1-1, I always bet against them, to tell you the truth, because 1-1 will pay $10 and 1-2 will pay $20, and the 2 will be favored over the 1 anyway. So people like that, and that's what we do. But here's my escape route. The 1 is going to go to the 1 and Doritos Heart, because I really don't like this race. I mean, the Racing Digest told me this a long time ago. What is it? NISR, nothing and a something, or something, SMNR, something and a nothing race. Well, anyways, I don't see. Doritos Heart they put him in a turf race in the first time. He's not bred for turf in my eyes at all. So, and you look back, that Rockin' Dorito, it's all sprint. Rocking Dorito, Bluegrass Cat, what he's bred by is all dirt sprint. And Eric Kuljak did train the dam Rockin' Dorito. So there's familiarity there. It's his own horse. So I got to go with the 7 at 20-1. Did you bet 200? I come up with a 20-1 shot, Ryan?
No, I just lost back to 500. So all your money's gone. I had a stone cold 1-1 there. I didn't see that coming. It threw me a little curve.
All right, so we got a $50 part wheel double. The 1 in the 3rd race with the 1 and the 7 at 20-1 to get some separation if that one comes in for Craig Kaufman.
All right, Ryan, let's get to our double, buddy. What do we got?
All right, let's do this. You know who I'm going to in race 3. Let's start the 2nd race. I'm going after I Belong to Becky. Spar, who's 6-1. Becky's just fast, faster than the outside. Posterize, I think, is quick, but he'll try and rate based on that post position. I think the 7's going to cross and clear. Spar is typically gold on the rise. He kind of snuck one in there. He's usually not good on the drop, but he's gold on the rise, and this one double jumps. I wish I knew the condition book like Michelle Yu, and I don't, so I don't know if it's a race written entry or not, but I'm going to go with that one, and with the commonality, Parnelli in race 3. So 7-1 double for me.
$100 double starting in race 2. 7-1. I belong to Becky, second time off of a layoff for Bill Spar, and 6-1 on the morning line. Before we get to the tiebreaker, Craig, since we got a couple really good handicappers, what are your normal plays in a day? Are you a pick 4, pick 5 better? What are your thoughts? Win bets, or even tournaments, whatever you want to talk about. Your go-to bet, fair odds, that type of thing. Just some wisdom for some people listening in.
Right. It's like anybody ever asks, it's about value. I mean, you got a horse equal. One's 10-1, one's 2-1. You got them both the same chance to win the race. So you obviously bet the 10-1 shot. And pick 4s and pick 5s. The racing form came out with the metrics. I never did it because I did it all for the last 20 years. I've been playing it the same way, because when you play a pick 4, pick 5, and you take the third race, you like the favorite, and then you like a 10-1 shot or 21 shot. You're never supposed to go, say the one. There's 2 horses, 1 and 5. You don't supposed to make them equal, because you're losing a lot of value on your pick 4 ticket. You put a $200 ticket in, and now you got 100%, 50% of it on even money shot and 50% on the other one. That's why you break it up. When I play a pick 4, pick 5, I call them like humanoid tickets, because I bet like 20 or 30, 20 tickets, 22 tickets, 20 or 30 tickets to go give me my best value as chances. And obviously in a pick 3 or pick 4, never go favorite. You got to avoid the favorites. That's when the play becomes good. You want to look for some value, because once you beat a favorite, especially like in a pick 4, a 1-2.
You got him? We froze.
All right, looking for value in the pick 4s and pick 5s. Craig Kaufman. Let's since he's stuck, how about you, Ryan? What are some of your favorite bets?
I'm similar into Craig, but I have one exception to this rule, which is what he's talking about with being efficient and writing tickets. I totally agree with that, but what I'll tend to do is do the exact opposite, in that I'll play who I like more rather than play the lower price more, and I'll try and bury it. So I'll try and hit a home run and use the lower priced horses as almost like a hedge or a get out of that ticket, even if I like the horse, where maybe I make a little bit. But if the longer price wins, assuming that I like him just as much as the other one, and oftentimes I do, I'll play those ones. I'm a simple player. I admittedly don't spend enough time, and if people are honest with themselves, I think a lot of people would fall into this category. I don't spend a lot of time into the ticket writing, not nearly enough time, which is by far the most important element of horse playing. A lot of people can pick winners. It's hard to make money. So I try and keep it simple. Win bets. I try and play doubles efficiently, and then play them in ways that I just described, where I take a price that I like versus a favorite, and I'll play the price heavier, trying to make a decent score that way. But that would be my advice, would be stay simple. If you're not intellectually sound enough to write correct tickets and be efficient, I think that's good advice. Win bets, place bets, keep things simple. You start boxing things and playing horses equally the way that Craig described, it's a losing proposition, especially in the long run.
Craig, I think your mute button's on. You got to unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Do you have any? I got one more question. If you don't, you got one, George? I was going to say about one thing George and I lack that most successful handicappers do is discipline.
We have none.
You don't chase. You only bet the races you like. You know, can you touch on that a little bit, Craig? Because that's George and I's. That's where we go south.
Right. We've all been on tilt at some time or another, and start steaming with it. That's why they had the last race is the get out race. And, but I'm a senior now, so my pulse rate is down. I don't really get crazy on that. And you just try to bet the races that you like. Oh, here's an example. Say it's the Super Bowl. You don't really have to bet the Super Bowl because I can find Tampa against the Lions a better bet than the Super Bowl. It's just because it's the Super Bowl you don't do. Just like the feature race. I mean, the Preakness tomorrow. I might love a horse in the 9th race, but do I have to bet a lot of money in the Preakness because it's the Preakness? So no, you go with the races that you chart out for the day. You got 10 horse race, and now, like Ryan said earlier, I like daily doubles. I go with the daily doubles on. It's great. They used to only have 2 daily doubles, one first and second, the last a late double, and so I absolutely agree. You know, for a new handicapper coming in, is the best way. You know, do is when you first look at a form, profile the race. Do you think a front runner is going to win? A lot of speed, a lot of closing, and go from there, and then go make it simple, doubles and win bets with win in place. The horses 10-1 or not, because in tournaments nobody's going to win the tournaments betting favorites. So that's a whole different race than doing tournaments and betting real money at the racetrack, because mythical money is easy for these people just to play 50-1 shots and this and that, but to put real money on, that's a different story. So but chase for value.
George's phone's ringing. Before we get to the tiebreaker, the marketing people always put a quote behind me straight out of the horse's mouth, and I have to show it. And during playoffs today, I'm a big Cub fan, and of course they put Javi Baez is the most overrated MLB player. I don't agree with that, but I had to show that for legal purposes. Georgie, tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker, here we go. The last race of the day. Hopefully we're not tied, but if we are, for whatever reason, who is your pick in the tiebreaker, Craig?
Well, I got the Black Storm, number 7. He'll be my tiebreaker. Yeah, an obvious big jockey change, TC Bays for Flores. Nothing against Mr. Flores, but I think the horse can move forward. You look at Santa Anita, 16 starts, 9 in the money. And well, what I said previously, value. I mean, he's 8-1 on the morning line. Good luck to Ryan on who he picks.
Ryan, let's have at it, buddy.
Well, Parnelli's a free square. That horse is going to win. It's going to be 1-5. There will be no tiebreaker. So I'm going to be clever and offer up a horse that I think is going to be an absolute massive number. 7 Oxen. 7 Oxen is going to be a massive number. Could be 50-1 or more.
Wow.
This is a sneaky horse and is worth looking at in some exotics. The last race is a complete toss. It was an experiment. That previous race is sneaky good. This horse got knocked around at the start. It's actually, I've got that horse very fast late. That was a very, very fast run race late. And I have that horse fastest in the stretch. And there is some speed in here. It's probably one of the reasons why Mr. Kaufman landed on the 7 Black Storm. I think they're going to get a little bit of setup for this one. Was recently cut, gets blinkers, and again, a big, big price. And I like Velez. I think he's a very underrated, strong rider. So that's my choice. Huge number, number 8, 7 Oxen.
So we got an 8-1 in morning line and a 30-1 morning line,
You
George.
seen that too often, that
Tiebreaker.
tiebreaker, yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and take us home, buddy?
Well, can I just say something first?
Sure.
Okay. I see his Ryan's pick is gelded. And I'm looking at tomorrow's Preakness in the ninth race. I think it's the ninth race, one of these races there. And the horse just won twice. Nice. And then they gelded him. And I just don't understand. I have no idea. I mean, what else can the horse do? The poor horse do. He wins twice and then he gets back and then he gets the okay, we're gonna geld you. Wow, I couldn't believe that. So
It's like
I don't see that too often when the horse.
I don't think
wins
I've ever
twice
seen
and
that.
they geld him.
Yeah.
that's what happens when you get married. I mean, you
Yeah,
get
that's true.
married,
Yeah.
get married and then remarried.
A kid show here, kid show. Go ahead, Georgie, take us home, buddy.
All right. Well, thank you both, our wonderful handicappers. Hopefully, you guys will both win all your bets. You can't all win your bets, but let's raise a lot of money for Karma. Hopefully, you guys had a good time. We'll see one of you in round 2. Thank you, guys. Thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow again at 10:30. Have a fun time and a big weekend, including the Preakness tomorrow that you could watch and wager with Express Bet and First Bet. You guys have a great afternoon. Thanks to you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
So, George.